man, clearly, Skip, and I've been saying this all playoff long.
Yeah.
They're the best team in basketball, 64-win team. I mean, look at the talent disparity. It's so hard to guard the Boston Celtics because we went away from game one saying, all right, what does Dallas have to do about Porzingis? He's clearly an X factor in all of this. Then we come into game two, it's like, oh, we shifted our decision-making or our focus off of Porzingis. Now it's Drew Holiday. So they're just a difficult team to scout when you look at it from top to bottom, especially in their top 6 or 7 guys. Now, next game, you're going to say, is Jason Tatum going to finally find his shot? Is Jaylen Brown going to have an actual breakout game? But clearly, the X factor in all of this, Drew Holiday is outplaying Kyrie. Who would have thought that coming into this? You know, Drew is a solid player, great defensively, but he's outscoring him. He's out-rebounding him. He's doing everything better than Kyrie. And Kyrie was playing so well in the playoffs that if he's not playing at a high level and giving you about 28 to 30 points a night, the Dallas Mavericks are in trouble, fellas. I mean, right now, I can't even tell you if the series ended, who would be Finals MVP? It may be Drew Holiday. It may be Drew Holiday. If the series ended today, 19 points a game, 9 rebounds, shooting crazy 60-plus from the field, defense on Kyrie, all the little intangibles. I mean, this is looking more lopsided than I originally thought.
You know, Paul, it is interesting because you said that they have a hard time scouting. No, they don't have a hard time scouting. What they're having a hard time doing is trying to figure out who. They know who it is, but who's the next guy up from game to game. You talked about Porzingis. You talk about, obviously, Drew Holiday and his ability to do the things that he's been able to do on both ends of the floor. Going into this game, going into this series, you try to tell Skip and get Skip to understand countless times over and over and over again, they run deep. And I think when we say deep, Skip's thinking 9 deep. No, I'm just talking about the 6 guys that are actually getting real quality minutes on the floor. Now, Porzingis didn't finish up the game due to a little bit of a hiccup of a so-called mysterious injury, but he gave you 12, he gave you 4, but everybody across the board from the start of that game, although Tatum didn't shoot it well, he contributed in many different ways, whether it was rebound and assists, whatever you want to call it, they all came to the party. Now, when you look at somebody coming to the party, everybody was plus 18 in scoring for the Mavs, where he's the only guy, for the Celtics, and he's the only guy, Luka's the only guy for the Mavs to hit 18 or more. You can't win that way. There's no possible way because the Celtics run so deep. And that's just, I don't know what else to say. Skip.
I don't even think they played well. They didn't even play well.
They didn't shoot the three nearly as well as they're capable of doing. For whatever reason, Luka's Luka. He's going to get his 30 points just because, and he had an efficient game. His high usage rate, but he had an efficient game, triple-double. He can't do it all by himself.
Efficient game? Did you just say efficient game?
He had an efficient game.
He turned it over 8 times.
No, but I'm not talking about the turnovers. I'm not talking about the turnovers. I'm talking about his ability. I'm talking about, we haven't even gotten to Luka yet.
Oh, okay.
We're going to talk about Luka.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we're going to give him a grade at some point.
Yeah, we will.
I'm just talking about his ability to score, rebound, assist. Turnovers, they happen. He's a turnover machine. You already know what you're going to get from a turnover standpoint from Luka. So I'm not surprised about the turnovers. I'm talking about the other people helping him out, helping him out and lifting some of the pressure off of him. The things that the Celtics do so well is they don't apply all the pressure, Skip, as you know, to Tatum. When Tatum is struggling, it becomes Brown. And Brown is struggling, all of a sudden there's a Drew Holiday. Then there's a Derek White who chips in. Then there's a Porzingis. Come on now, Skip, you got to give them the credit about how that 6 deep runs.
6 deep. It actually went 7 deep last night because little Pritchard hit one out of his rear end off the backboard. He lucked in a shot at the end of the third quarter that gave you back a 9-point lead. Way to go, Paul. Congratulations. Little Pritchard actually came through with 1 shot last night.
Yeah, they got the steal on Luka.
What's that?
He played defense too. Don't discount that. His 12 minutes was vital.
Really? Oh, he
Y'all
just
need to
shut
get
Luka down.
Y'all X Factor and your young Lively need to start to play.
Okay. I thought he
No,
played
what about
pretty
Vinny Microwave Johnson that Skip labeled before the season? He said Jaden Hardy was like the microwave coming off the bench.
I'm glad you brought him up. He played 2 minutes last night. He should have played 12 minutes because he would have scored 10 points.
There's a reason he played 2 minutes, Skip.
And you know what?
There's
he
a
better
reason.
play 20 minutes in Game 3 on Wednesday
That's
night
gonna make
in
a
Dallas.
difference. That's not going to make a difference.
Because he will make a difference. What do you tell me? Role players play better at home. Okay, the role players better roll on Wednesday night at home.
But this is the same team you tried to sell me won 5 games
rolling
in a row.
over, Skip.
Yeah.
Skip, you
The
sold
role
me
player's
that.
been rolling over.
You sold me that.
Okay, so let's cut to the chase here, please. Here's what happened last night. Paul, your Celtics were begging to be beaten at home. They were saying, here, 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 here. They missed 29 three-point shots. I told you, live and die by the three. They were dying by the three. When they wind up with 10 out of 39, 10 of 39, 25.9%. And would you believe the Mavericks shot worse from three? They shot 23%. The Mavericks have to play, obviously, at Boston a little closer, just a little closer to their max than Boston has to play, because I'll give you Boston's starting five runs deeper than Dallas's starting five, but the top two are still the top two, and I still say that Luka and Kyrie can be, when they play up to their potential, the best two players on the floor, and obviously Kyrie went missing for a second straight game after he called out the Boston crowd and said, I thought it'd be a little louder in here. So they're all over him, as was Drew Holiday. I give you that. And I don't disagree with your point that maybe Drew Holiday, after just 2 games of this series, is the finals MVP so far. But the point was, Paul, you're begging, you're dying to be beaten. And it comes down to, finally, Luka just hit the wall. In the second half, he ran out of gas. He's hurt. He gets the LeBron Memorial excuse. He's running out of gas. And now he's got bruised ribs on top of a sprained knee and a sprained ankle. So
Didn't look like it to me.
Yeah, and that was a miraculous game that he put up stat-wise, except for the 8 turnovers. So I'm going to get to those in just a second. But Luka finally, with about a minute left, he actually makes a 3-point play at the rim. He finally got in the lane and made a 3-point play, and all of a sudden I'm saying, wait a second, this is getting closer than I thought. And then Derek Jones Jr. at the other end, he blocks, yet again, what did Jason Tatum go in this game?
He blocked Tatum.
6 of 22? Where is he? Whatever happened to Jason? Somebody APB him in Boston. We got to go find him. And all of a sudden,
he was there. I saw him.
What's that?
I saw him. He was there.
You saw him?
Jason Tatum.
Man, the dude had 12 assists and 9 boards. So
what did he miss? Like 12 layups that he left on the front of the rim?
But
something like that. I don't know.
He missed some layups.
Okay, so he gets blocked at the rim by Derek Jones Jr., former slam dunk champ, and all of a sudden Kyrie's got the basketball full speed the other way, bounce pass to P.J. Washington, and 2 fouls happen. P.J. Washington should have been shooting 4 free throws if that's possible. They should have given him 1 foul and another foul. But they didn't give him any fouls because...
What about that foul right there, Skip? That was a foul.
Where?
Oh, Jason Tatum going to the basket.
Jason Tatum going
I think this game was ref perfect.
Oh, that
they
was
weren't giving out
block.
these calls. That was a foul.
Ball.
No, that was a foul.
Are you telling me that Derek White got all ball? I think he got all hand. He's all hand.
No, he got all ball. Hand is part of the ball.
Hand. It's fingers
hand
on
is
fingers.
Part of the ball,
it's
Skip.
A slap right across the hand. That counts. That's a foul. Not to mention that Jaylen Brown obviously pushes P.J. Washington in the back. He pushed him in the back, and then he got leverage to jump up over him and block his shot.
All right, let's just say they do call that foul, Skip. Boston Celtics are still up 3 if he makes 2 free throws.
Okay, but if he makes 2 free throws, which he is prone to do, I would have trusted him to make those 2 free throws. All of a sudden, your team it's getting colder and colder by the moment, and it's getting warmer and warmer on that hot seat over there for Joe Mazzulla because all of a sudden you're only up 3 with the basketball, and you can't buy a basket. And you have scored a grand total of 22 points only 22 in the fourth quarter, and you can't buy a three, and you can't buy a basket.
Tatum knocked down that three.
He made
that's
one.
what great teams do. They
made
find
one
other
for
ways to
17.
win.
That was hot.
Yeah, but he knocked it down. But he knocked it down when he needed to.
Somebody pour some water on him. He's on fire. He's 1 for 7. Way to go. I would have loved to have seen what would have happened at that point to your Celtics, who, as we know, can teeter at home. They were 17 and 14 going into these finals at home over the last 3 playoffs. And again, you know and I know, because you were sitting right there in the front row, it was starting to get a little nervousy in there because all of a sudden throats are starting to get tight in Boston down that bench. Yeah.
It looked like Dallas Mavericks got tight to me. They blew the layups. I saw Derrick Jones Jr. shoot a wide open three-pointer and air ball. I'm just saying, listen, Dallas Mavericks don't have room for error, Skip. Look, they don't have room for error. Luka has 20 points in the first quarter, ends with 32. Yeah, he shot well, but what happened? The Celtics adjusted. What I saw was a difference in the coaching staff over there in the Celtics side. Jason Kidd has been great. He made some adjustments. I like some of the things he did with bringing Luka off the screen, taking him off the ball for a while, you know, setting a down screen, getting him in an ISO situation, straight into a pick and roll. And because when he's at the top, Boston can load their defense on him, so they changed up in that aspect. So now Luka gets the ball, and he's coming off these pick and roll. The other adjustment that the Celtics made, they trapped him. They trapped him off the pick and roll, and they helped on the sent them baseline and got help. They forced Luka to make those. I don't know what kind of passes he was making, but we've never seen him play like this before.
No,
we've never seen him play like this before.
Yeah,
you know, we trapped him in late parts of his drive, and he was just throwing it all over the place, traveling. And I thought the game plan was wonderful with the way they played him. Yeah, you wake up this morning, if you didn't watch the game and you're just a social media bug and you just watch highlights and you say, oh, Luka had 32, 11, 11. You're like, he was balling. But no. Celtics defense slowed him down. He had 12 points in the second half. The rest of the game from the first quarter. And, yeah, he got his assist, but they turned him over, and they did a phenomenal job at putting different defenders on Kyrie. This is going to be a problem for them moving forward because if they don't have the room for error, this might go from a gentleman's sweep to something else.
Well, look, when they decided to, Luka got hot, sorry, he hit the 20. When they decided, like you're saying, Paul, to switch things up, to trap him, to force him to do things from a turnover standpoint, he didn't know what to do with the basketball because he hadn't seen it coming before.
No, he's never been trapped in his life. He's never been doubled in his life.
It's not that he hasn't. He has.
Stop it.
But at the same time, when you throwing different things and mixing things up, Skip, you confuse players. I don't give a damn if you're the greatest player in the world. Well, you're going to be confused if you're not expecting those things to happen to you.
Okay, so here's what I saw from Luka. He scores 13 in the first quarter. I'm like, okay, here we go. And then he scores 10 in the second quarter, and I'm pretty good with it. And then he takes 2 shots in the third quarter. He made both of them, one of them a 3, but winds up with only 6 points in the third quarter with 3 turnovers. And then in the fourth quarter, Luka Doncic, the best closer in basketball, as we've seen repeatedly throughout these playoffs, he goes 1 of 6 in the fourth quarter because he just hit the wall. And the one didn't come until there was a minute left, and he made the 3-point play. That gave him 3 total points in the fourth quarter, along with 2 more turnovers.
But why did he hit the wall, though? Skip, tell me. Give me
because
some context to it.
He's gotten the hell kicked out of him.
Oh, so
playoffs.
He's banged up.
He's banged up, and he just ran out of gas because we give LeBron that excuse all the time. We're not talking. So I'm going to give him the LeBron.
LeBron is on vacation.
This is the LeBron excuse.
LeBron is on vacation.
Yeah. Luka is actually older than LeBron. You didn't know that.
He's on vacation.
He's been playing pro basketball since he was 3 years old. So he's actually older than LeBron.
But you bringing LeBron into this. LeBron is on vacation.
I don't care.
Luka's your guy. Yeah, okay? He's your guy. Yeah. You said he's the greatest player and he's a this and he's a that. Yeah. He's supposed to be able to figure out in the fourth quarter how to get over those bumps and bruises.
Okay. He didn't used to be my guy because he was such a pathetic late-game free throw shooter, and all of a sudden the demons are back in his psyche. Yeah. He goes 4 of 8 from the free throw line, and to his credit, he took total ownership. He said, my turnovers and my missed free throws, and I'm quoting Luka, cost us the game. Period. End of story. I agree. And the 8 turnovers were beyond comprehension to me for a guy with the highest IQ in basketball this side of LeBron.
You know how many turnovers he had last game, though, right?
Yeah, I know exactly how.
Okay, so do the math, Skip.
All right, but they cannot afford 8 turnovers because here's the problem. Here's what I saw last night. Luka is getting slower and slower bringing the ball up the court. And obviously, they hound him mostly full court. They definitely pick him up at half court.
Yes.
Drew Holiday was bothering him. Jaylen Brown was bothering him. And after a while, he gets careless because he gets frustrated. And he's like, oh, what the hell? I'll just throw it behind my back. The offense gets so stagnant because he is dribbling the air out of the basketball, and it's getting worse and worse. He led them last night with 34% usage rate. Trust me, that's really high. Kyrie was next at 22% usage rate.
That's right on par for them, though. What changes? That's right on par for them. That's what they've been all year long.
He gets slower and slower walking the ball up the floor. How did Indiana score on you guys? I know it was a sweep, but at least they scored. I'm looking at Indiana's scores
they're
here.
the fastest-paced team. They're the fastest-paced team in the league.
128, 110, 111, 102 scored the Indiana Pacers on the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, they pushed the ball.
Because they beat you down the floor, and they would score before you could get your defense set. Luka lets the defense not just get set, they dig in. They dig trenches across the court, right? You can't come in here.
But you can't keep up the pace when you got to play both ends of the floor when you Luka, though, Skip.
Yeah, I thought he played really good defense in the fourth quarter because you guys scored a grand total of 22 points, and Luka was moving his feet on defense. The problem was Luka was not moving his hands correctly on offense because I'm going to show you the 8 turnovers. The problem with these turnovers is almost all of them lead to runaways the other way for an easy dunk or an easy basket the other way. And Porzingis comes out of nowhere with the greatest stretch of his entire career and saves your night and arguably saves your season because he dug them such a hole they couldn't quite dig out of that one. And then last night, you missed 29 threes, and Luka turns it over 8 times and misses 4 free throws. And Kyrie goes missing.
In the same game where Jason Tatum shoots, 6 for 22? What do we have here?
Jason.
Yeah, in that same game. In the same game where we just didn't play well, we didn't shoot the ball well. I mean, there's a number of factors that go into this, Skip. Listen, Holiday was our best player. You can argue, Jason hasn't been playing well. And actually, you know what? I'm going to change that. You know what? Jason has been playing well. He just hasn't shot the ball well. He's been distributing. He's doing other things to make this team better. And I told you guys before the series, our superstars don't have to play like superstars every night because of the other great role players we have, and Drew Holiday, Derek White, Porzingis. These guys are more than capable of being the best player on any given night. On the other side, and I said this, Indiana was harder for us to defend. You know why? Because they had unpredictability, especially when you lost Halliburton. It was like, what's the focus on in the film room? So then you have guys come out and have the games of their lives. Dallas, we know the focus is on Luka. We know the focus is on Kyrie. We're not going to be able to stop Luka. He does so many great things when he's not scoring. You see he gets 11 rebounds, 11 assists. But Kyrie, we know we can slow him down because if he's not scoring at a high level, he can't beat you in no other ways. He's not a high assist guy. He's not a high rebound guy. He's not like a lockdown defender. And so we're saying, look, we'll focus on slowing Kyrie down, stopping him, because we have a plethora of different defenders we can throw at him that can bother him throughout the course of the game. And so if he doesn't play great, they lose game 3, guys. I'm gonna have 2 extra seats for y'all on that duck boat.
Interesting. So, Paul Pierce, man. I saw you on TV last night sitting next to Shaq, and you had some giant gold chain on around your neck, and from it was hanging. Was that a leprechaun at the end of it?
Yeah, you saw that. Oh, man, I wish I had it. I'm going to have it for the next break. I actually have it with me. I'll show it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, yes.
So is it possible that leprechaun, on that play with 50 seconds left, he sprinkled magic dust into the eyes of the referees so they went to sleep for just a second so they couldn't see what happened, the double foul play at the other end?
No, that's not a double foul, Skip.
Double foul, 4 free throws.
Every play.
Yeah.
yeah, they missed a foul, and they'll come back with an NBA report today to say, yeah, that was a foul. It happens every game. This is the playoffs. This is, you know what the NBA stands for? No boys allowed. No boys allowed. We're not calling those fouls on our home court. Come on, I don't want to hear that.
You know why? Because they wouldn't have gotten out with their lives last night if they'd called that foul. That's what would have happened.
No.
Right?
It was a 5-point game. Even if they do call the foul, Skip, I'm not sure P.J. Washington goes up there and make 2 free throws. And then say Boston comes down, next possession misses the shot, Luka has the ball. I'm not sure if we foul Luka, we might have to go to the hacker Luka. We can go to that down the stretch because he might go up there and miss 2 free throws. So, listen, they have to play near-perfect basketball.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you saw what happened. You saw what happened.
Yeah.
You saw what happened.
I also saw the team that you gave 10 points to lose by only 7, right? Well, it doesn't matter. You lost. So you lost yet another dinner to me. So I actually celebrated last night. I lost, but I won because I won a 3rd dinner. So I'm up 3 now.
That's all right. I'm going to just make sure we get some pictures of you with me on the duck boat. That'll be more satisfying for me.
Duck boat Paul from
Drew
Boston.
Holiday getting ready to be the MVP, Finals MVP.
He just might be. And listen, no player would deserve it more for a career retrospective, you know, after all that he's done for so many teams in this league at such a high level. I would enjoy that, actually.
All I say
No, actually, listen, if the Celtics win and they continue at this pace, though, I will tell you this. Not only is Drew a lock for the Hall of Fame, but maybe Al Horford. If they sweep Dallas Mavericks, this can go down as one of the greatest teams. I don't care who they play, but when you look at their record, you see the points disparity out in the regular season, one of the tops in the league. If you look at the points disparity for all of the playoffs, this could go down as one of the top 5 greatest teams.
Oh, come on, Paul.
Top 5 greatest teams in NBA history.
No, you tripping, Paul.
But wait a second.
At the end of the day, you're going to say,
you tripping.
I mean, Tatum is trajecting toward Hall of Fame.
No, you tripping.
So is Brown.
No, you tripping.
So is Drew Holiday. And then if you look at the end of the day, you can say this could be the greatest defensive backcourt all time. And you can look at the end of the day, you can say this is a possible team that has 4 Hall of Famers.
I love you to death, Paul. You my guy. But when you start saying top 5 greatest teams of all time, I can just think of 4 teams off the top of my head that probably wipe the floor with them. Stop, man.
The point here is, Paul, you already said your 08 team would beat this team.
Yeah, stop.
So are you a top 4 team then all time?
Maybe, Skip.
I think you're excited right now, Paul. Come on, man. I can point to about 4 or 5 Laker teams. I can go to Golden State, Chicago, y'all, Detroit. I mean, I can just go on and stop. It's fine.
You can't go on and on. You got to look at the numbers.
You
got to look at the numbers.
You excited.
I think
this team, I mean, their point differential.
That's what's happening.
Yeah, you excited. I get it. You excited.
All right, up next. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.